This is the second video in a two-part series about how remote learning can become authentic. In the previous video, we talked about using home learning bags so that we have hands-on and engaging activities, and using Seesaw as a way for parents to upload authentic documentation of their children doing activities so that we can document their progress over time. In this video, we will talk about how we use all of that authentic assessment documentation to really inform our instruction and differentiate for our students as well. When we're in the classroom, we have, 7.5 hours of observation, right? We know what they can do. Now that we have video, that's giving us that observation that we cannot see in the remote world. As Tara and I collaborated, the home learning bags came to life. We wanted to give them hands-on things that they could do, and the parents could hold the iPad and take raw video of them doing this activity. And it helped us because we could see what the kids can do. And also it helped us with not having parents prompt everything, because now they're holding this iPad and they can't, or if they do, we physically can see it. So we can see if they can walk on a line to balance. So when our state is requiring us to submit data on balance and motion, it's like, well, that's hard to see through a camera while we're doing our remote lessons. But when you give the parents the iPad and say, throw a ball back and forth and let us watch them walk on a line, we have our data. We know exactly what they can do, and we're reporting quality data and not guessing.
We take the videos that parents upload to Seesaw, and we take the annotation, we take their pictures, and we use all of that to inform our instruction and to differentiate for our students. So here's an example. We sent home an assignment that was for children to write their own story, and they had to have a beginning, middle, and end. They had to have a catch line. It was about the gingerbread man. And they drew the pictures and then they wrote their stories, and parents took pictures or videos of their story and then uploaded them to Seesaw. And it was really eye-opening for me to see my students write and to see where they were developmentally in the early literacy writing stage. So in our classroom, we are surrounded by print. We are surrounded by writing in the literacy center, in an art center, science. There's clipboards in all of our centers. And the kids see us modeling writing on a smart board. They also see us writing their words on the paper. And so that helps develop an understanding of print meaning. But then in the remote environment, one thing that we realized is that my students weren't seeing me modeling writing every day. That was something that I kind of realized from Seesaw, is because some of my students weren't writing letters. They were at that beginning stage where they were scribbling, and they were also drawing pictures. And that kind of changed our structure in our whole group meetings. And we added a component of doing a morning message. And we started using an Osmo projector. And so we started writing a morning message. So we were modeling our writing. And so that really drove my instruction to then include a morning message. And also we started doing something called a silly sentence. And the silly sentences is great because we can differentiate for our students. And that was also something that we were able to take from Seesaw. With that, we can differentiate and have a student write the words. One student might just be focusing on writing letters, while another might be drawing. And so the documentation that we get from Seesaw not only helps inform our instruction, but it also helps us differentiate for our students.
So it just gave us better information about what our kids could do independently and what they needed help with.
1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 7.
Okay, I need to back up and work with Hudson. They could finish to 10, but always that middle piece was missing. So I really needed, okay, when we're counting, I am going to specifically call Hudson's name when I want to count to 6. I knew I was calling on him because that's where he needed his practice.
1, 2, 3.
where I learned from the videos that I have this little girl who can count higher. So when I roll that die and it's a higher quantity, I'm calling on this girl. So it just helped me differentiate on who I was calling on, what skills I was specifically hitting on with them. And then in our home learning bags, we send home a lending library book every week so that our kids have access to different books. Maybe some of our kids don't have any access. And we have them do just something different with that book every week. And through that, I got a video of Natalie.
Sing. Like the birds, I'm here to fly and soar.
And she is reading the entire book, sounding out words. And I was just blown away. I was like, oh, wow. So, we're working on letter sound correspondence. Adelie can read. So when we do our morning message, a lot of times I stop and Adelie helps me read so that I can kind of target what she needs. Adelie, can you help me read today?
Yes.
Okay, you just pause if you need help. All points. Ready?
Good morning.
And then we might clap out a word for the other kids so that they hear those syllables. And we might talk about the beginning sound for them. But if I hadn't had those videos in Seesaw, I would not have known that I need to have Adelie reading the morning message and, Hudson, I need to really focus on 3, 4, and 5 so that we could get him to the place of counting to 10 and celebrating him.
Yeah. I am proud of who?
Yeah.
What did you do today?
I read for you.
What is this one? Oh, look at that sign! Hudson counted to 10 all by himself. You did it today. You made our day, buddy.
I had the exact same thing happen with that. We sent home, there was a cold lady who swallowed some snow and all the students got the same book. And then when we came back in January, we had the students read the book for us. And I was going through the videos and I was looking at them and I was like, oh, she's reading. And so that led to conversations with mom to move on to a different level. Wouldn't have known that if we hadn't had Seesaw at all, because we don't get to see that in the classroom. And sometimes I look at it, I'm like, gosh, it took me that long. I reflect on myself. I'm like, oh, how did I, I really wish I had known that earlier. But then, I try not to beat myself up and be like, okay, well, how would I have really known that? I only see them for 40 minutes a day, and I'm not seeing her read in a remote environment. So every activity comes with really intentional questions parents ask their children. And those questions really help with prior knowledge and background knowledge for students.
So why do you think he didn't want to go into the water?
Because he didn't want to swim.
And then when we go into class, I'm able to know what I need to ask my students based on those videos, right? I can see, okay, this student doesn't have that prior knowledge. So how am I going to give that student background knowledge on this subject? And then I know what I need to instruct. I know what vocabulary I need to support them with. So when I watch these videos and I understand where their prior knowledge is, then I'm able to teach them the background knowledge they need to really connect the concept. Isaac, can you tell me a character that was in our story?
A cow.
So let's put the long-haired cattle up here. Nicely done. Brittany and I were talking about Seesaw and even how to use it in the future. And Brittany had a great idea. She's like, well, we can use this. This is a digital portfolio that we can use from now on. And so when we do go back, we can actually record and then upload videos to Seesaw and have it organized for skills and then revisit those to really be able to observe a student. We can really go back and really look at those videos and get some really wonderful observational data.